You're listening to the Bust-Proof Business Podcast, taking your business to the next level by taking you out of it. With our experience and proven results, we'll help you find the success that many crave, but only we can help you achieve. It's time to get started with your host, Greg Murphy.
Hey guys, so today I want to talk about something I talked a little bit about during the Bulk Books workshop about a month ago. And what it is the 1 square foot method, the OSF method. If you didn't get a chance to watch that video, and I think about, 1,000 of you guys did. If you didn't get a chance to watch that, one of the things I talked about during the workshop was how, your mindset can have a big impact on what you can accomplish. And, maybe it's a lot of people, maybe it's a little bit of people that don't have this problem, right? That don't have this issue to work through. But I do. And so on any given day, my productivity can swing wildly from being incredibly productive to not so much. And, normally I just I do my best, to overcome that stuff when I'm not really feeling it. And it's really hard, especially because, my best contribution to my team is if I'm either talking or typing. No matter what it is that I'm doing, no matter what business I'm working on, if I'm talking or typing, that's when I'm adding the most value to my businesses. When I'm doing other things, not so much. Okay, so, but the problem with that, especially the typing part and the talking to you guys like this, is that it's sort of a creative endeavor. Sometimes it might not seem that way from the content that I put out sometimes, but it's work, and so, and it's creative work, and so at least me, I have to be in a certain headspace to be able to do it. But I read years and years ago, I wanted to be. This is kind of embarrassing. I don't know, maybe. So I wanted to write novels. I wanted to write fiction. And I didn't do it because I didn't do it. I just wanted to, but I didn't want to do the things you have to do it. And so I bought Stephen King's book on writing, which is an amazing book. And one of the things he talked about is you have to write every day. It doesn't matter if you feel like it. It doesn't matter if the words suck. It doesn't matter if you can use any of the content. You just have to, if you want to write well, you have to write every day. And that wasn't something back then that I took to heart, that I actually did. Because my thought is if the muse descends, then if I feel inspired. But the problem is that, that's not the way the world works. Writing is a job just like a ditch digger or anyone else, right? You have to put in the work. You have to roll up your sleeves and do it every day, no matter how you feel. And I have a problem with that. I think that there's a good chunk of people that do. Being able to be not necessarily their best self, but a workable version of themselves, right? Like a usable version in the world and society. So people have that issue. And I don't think necessarily, I've been in therapy for a while. And I don't think there's some diagnosable condition. There's not pills that'll make this stop. I just, I'm a little bit sensitive to the world around me sometimes. And I know that, other people are as well, right? And so the thing is, there's a lot of things. As dudes, guys are not supposed to talk like that, right? You're not, guys are supposed to be, manlier than I am and not talk about this kind of stuff. But it's true. This is who I am. And so, there's times when I want to be there's times where I want to be the center of the room, there's times when, the Facebook Live stuff that I do, the big event stuff that I dig that, right? It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm contributing. It makes me feel like I'm somebody. But other times, not at all. Um, Something really weirded me out the other day, like 2 days in a row. A lady, I think I might have mentioned this to you already, but a lady recognized me when my daughter's riding her bike around the block, and that kind of creeped me out. But then I was at Meyer over by the bookstore, like 5 miles away, and I'm going inside, and this guy came up to me and he said, "Hey, you're the Murphy guy." And I said, "Yeah." And it was so awkward for me, and he didn't. I don't know. I just kept walking. Um, I don't know, and I felt bad later, but yeah, that kind of stuff wigs me out, man. It's fine, like at a conference, it's fine, but it's just weird in the world. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know why I'm even saying that. But if I'm not in a place where I feel gregarious and outgoing, that kind of stuff, you know, has an impact. But that's what happens when you spend whatever, like $100,000 and on Facebook ads in your community, and you get 9 million impressions. There's 9 million people that saw your face while they were dropping a deuce. I mean, that could be. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Um, you guys know what I'm saying. That's probably a little blue, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. Um, so yeah. So anyway, the point of all of this, right, is not just to like vomit all of my feelings on you guys today. But hopefully there's people out there that are listening to this that are also, um, that go through some of this stuff sometimes. And like, it's important for us all to know that this is just part of life, man. Like, it's not a big deal. Sometimes you feel it and sometimes you don't, but we can hack ourselves a bit. At least I can, to make it a little bit, easier, right? One of the things I have, a picture of my daughter that I keep, and but it's sort of a two-edged sword too, right? Because if I use that to get motivated, but if it doesn't work, then I feel even worse. Like, why can't I do it? I'm trying to build something for my daughter, and instead I'm goofing around or wasting time. What a jerk you are. So that's the downside of that particular tip and trick. But on the other side, it often does get me out of whatever, crappiness I'm feeling to really be able to produce. So I'm not sure how useful that little gem is. The other thing though that I do is, I also, um, there's music that helps me. Like there's particular, songs that really get me going. There's, and I'm not into like meditation or anything like that. I'm not. But there's also like certain, uh, like spoken word tracks. Like Grant Cardone has some stuff that gets me revved up, and that kind of stuff. Kind of like a mantra, I guess, right? So listening to some of that stuff over and over, to me, I love the Hamilton musical, and there's some of those songs that really get me going. Nonstop is one of them if you have the soundtrack. Um, and one song that's not super popular that I love is, I don't remember what it's called. "Write My Way Out" is how they do it on the mixtape, but that song, yeah. If you guys don't know what the Hamilton musical is, you should definitely check out the soundtrack. It's awesome. But yeah, I guess the point of all of this is just to say that we're all damaged, and we all have all this. Here's the thing, like with entrepreneurs, which it would be weird if you're not one and you're listening to this, but for people that want to be entrepreneurs, right? Either way, um, if for a lot of us, because I have a lot of friends that feel the same way I do, right? But a lot of us, whatever the soup is that makes us up, right? Whatever all the stuff is that makes us not be normal, that makes us not say, "Hey, I just want to go to a job, work for 30 years, get a gold watch, and go home." Whatever it is about us that says, "No, instead I want to make a dent in the world. Like, I want to do something for my family, for myself, something that's special." For us, whatever the soup is that makes us do that is also what makes a lot of people have these kind of tendencies. So just know that other people feel that way too, that nobody's perfect, and that you can be as damaged as me and have a successful business. And here's the thing, I don't want to sound like there's people that are way, 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 way worse off. I mean, my life is awesome, but you guys know, like, happiness is a relative thing. I mean, it's just the way humans are built. Like, we are always struggling for more. Like, we're not satisfied, especially entrepreneurs, right? So, you get a success, and then you're elated for a little while, and then, but you're always moving on to that next thing, right? And so there are people in real poverty that have real problems. And, I'm, just a white boy in Ohio, right? A white boy in Ohio in America, right? I mean, how awesome can it be for me? But at the same time, like, it's, I don't have to deal with the legacy of things that so many other people have to deal with. But at the same time, everything's relative, right? So, anyway, this got to be a little rambly, but, and I'm not even sure I'll upload this, but I just wanted to at least get this stuff off my chest a little bit. All right, guys. Well, if I did upload this, then you're listening to it, and if not, then now I'm just talking to myself, and it's kind of getting weird. So, all right, I will talk to you guys soon. Always remember, it feels weird to talk about the Bust Proof Workshop in this one, but we have that every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern, and you can always join us. We don't often talk about this kind of thing, but if you dug it, you can shoot me an email, greg@bustproofbusiness.com. And remember, guys, always make today count the best you can.
That's all for this episode of the Bust Proof Business Podcast. Be sure to point your browser to bustproofworkshop.com to sign up for our mailing list and to get your opportunity to enroll in one of our specialized seminars, guaranteeing you continued results in typical Bust Proof fashion. Thanks again for joining us. We look forward to taking your business to the next level right here on the Bust Proof Business Podcast.